welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate all you guys who have subscribed. Keep it up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving and was able to visit with your loved ones and friends. I know we had a great time here at our house and ate too much like everybody else, but that's the way it is. In case you missed the last video, we did hit 1,000 subscribers thanks to you. Matter of fact, we're up to 1,007 already, and hopefully that's going to continue growing. I actually did a lot of YouTube stuff last night, registering the channel and doing all this paperwork that has to be done, and hopefully we'll start seeing some rapid growth. But don't give up. Keep subscribing and telling your friends about this channel if you would. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, in the video we did, a celebration video, we actually released that yesterday. There's a blank portion where there's no sound inside of the video. That was because YouTube dinged me with a copyright claim. That happens whenever you use somebody's music that's popular. I'd used Eye of the Tiger from the Rocky movie. Great background to match the slides we had to go through, so you have to just imagine that in your head next time. But anyway, so we had to go in there and we had to take the music out, or else they would have canceled the whole video. I didn't want to do that. So anyway, and plus, get your name in the hat for the drawing. Go back and watch that video, and we're going to go give away a couple of our racing t-shirts. So go back and watch the last video. Okay, we're going to get back on the Buick today, and got a pretty cool stuff. We got the carburetor spacer and stuff for the car. Got a fuel log for it from my brother, Gene Humphrey. He handles deals in used race car parts, and it's predominantly motor parts. So I was able to get stuff from him this week. And we're going to start on the cooling system for the rear end. And whew, that's going to be a mess trying to get all that back together. We're not sure how we're going to. I'm going to make it where it works, but there's really no need for it to work. But I'm going to probably make it where the fan comes on and maybe the pump. I'm not sure because, you know, with us not racing a car, I don't really want that pump to be pumping a lot of fluid around through the rear end. It's really not necessary, but we'll figure that out as we get it all installed. First of all, we've got to get everything cleaned up. But buckle your seatbelts. Let's get started. Okay, here is the rear end cooler, rear end fluid cooler and fan, and of course I got to get all this cleaned up. I've got the actual cooler itself and the pump and the filter laying all over there on my little work table, but we got to get all this cleaned up. We got to figure out how we're going to mount all this stuff and get the lines ran. So that's the first item of business, is try to see if we can get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Got a little polish here. We're going to try to clean this fan squirrel cage housing up a little bit. Go use an old-fashioned blue magic polish here, and see if we can make this stuff work. If I had SOS pads, me and Buddy was talking about yesterday, if we had an SOS pad, we could probably make it work a lot better, but I've got some emery cloth that I think will work. Let's see what happens if we get a little bit on here. You take an emery cloth. Oh yeah. The bad thing, I hate it's got the pits in it. It's gonna be hard to work the pits out, but well, they're kind of disappearing. So let me get this thing polished up. It's in pretty bad shape, but I think we can make it look pretty good. So we'll kind of do a before and after shot and see what you think about it. Oh yeah, it's gonna look pretty good. I'll give you okay, that's after. That is before. Get up here close by so you can really appreciate it. But that looked good enough. Like I say, it's gonna be down where nobody can really see it. Well, so I'll go ahead and get this polish up all the way around. It's nasty all the way around, and then we'll get this thing installed. So we'll be right back with you. Okay, I don't know if you can tell the difference. I've been rubbing this thing for about 30, 45 minutes now. And, you know, it was real dingy like that. And you can see now, you can actually see yourself in it. Good reflection. And that side turned out real good. I still got one more side to do. My fingers are starting to kill me. But it's nasty, but boy, a little elbow grease will go a long ways. Unfortunately, this aluminum, that's only one way to do it, and that's by hand. So, but looks pretty good. That's a good comparison there. We'll keep working and be right back with you. All right, we got the fan shroud finished. Boy, can you tell the difference? My fingers have given out, so we're gonna leave it there. Now I'm gonna break these lines loose on the cooler itself. And almost went to a full little container of polish. Boy, that is sweet. A whole lot better than it was. And so, break these lines off and see if we can get this going now. And because this actually mounts under the blower fan housing. So we'll be right back with you. All right, he broke the lines off this thing and drained the remaining oil out of it. And this is pretty bad shape too, but we're gonna get it cleaned up and we can get this sucker mounted. Once we get this cleaned up, now we got the housing ready over there. So let's get started on this.
Ten of 83.
Wow. Yep, Cyril. Okay, we got this thing cleaned up, and we're not going to do a whole lot more to it. It's polished as good as we're going to get it, and because it's totally hidden, I'm not going to. My fingers can't take it, to be honest with you. So we're going to get this all put inside the car and see what it looks like here in just a second. All right, now that we've got the cooler, fan, and the actual cooler itself cleaned up, I went in and got this pump cleaned up. This thing was nasty. I'm having to paint the bracket for it, so we're gonna mount it first, and we get this hose here cleaned up. But we'll get it mounted, and then we'll put, because I can't remember, I should have took pictures, but I can't remember which direction this thing turned. But we'll get it in there, and then we'll put the housing. And well, I had the housing sitting there, don't have it in there right now, but I'll put everything back together and we'll try to figure out here in just a minute as soon as this paint dries. But that thing was black when we started. I should have took a before and after picture of it. We'll be right back with you. All right, we got our pump all cleaned up and looking pretty. Get around that so you can see it. Got our bracket painted, and I know where it goes in the rear firewall here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get it in. That's going to tell me where the actual cooler goes. They should go in these two holes right here. Okay, voila. So this line here, okay, finally. Now get our holes lined up here. We'll go get our housing motor. I got it. I got it so clean, I'm going to use gloves. How about that? So, that's pretty close there, and we'll have all the switches and everything goes off its back. So I'm gonna get a screwdriver and try to line up all these holes a little bit better, and then we will let you know, let you see what it looks like close up here. Okay, we got the filter cleaned up now. I'm gonna put it in there. Now I'm starting to see how the lines went together. Like I said, I should have took some pictures beforehand, but I didn't do it. But it's all, I mean, with the holes and with the hoses, you pretty much kind of backtrack and figure out how it went. Got one line to put in, and I think I understand what's going on now. So let's see if we can do that. All right, after much weeping and gnashing of teeth, everything is installed back here for the rear end fluid cooler. Now, obviously, we've got to have a line that's got to come from the bottom of the rear end through that far hole to the filter, then goes through the cooler, back up through the pump, out of the pump, back through this hole, should to a fitting on top of the rear end. And me and Buddy was just talking yesterday and today. I mean, we're probably going to hook it up to where everything runs off a fan. Oh, we'll probably turn the fan on, but I'm not sure if there need even. We'll run the wires because they had some isolators there. Those little small holes you barely can see, but we will figure out how to do as far as running the toggle switches. And I want it to work, but I don't know that I'm really going to be worried about pumping fluid through the rear end. So we'll cross that bridge here a little bit later. But right now, it's just a matter of getting everything cleaned up and get it installed. Me and Buddy were just laughing about our parts pile. This was just heaped over with parts. We had stuff in there, and you can see everything we got now. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Not much stuff left. And still got a body, and that's gonna be the next project for me, is tackling this dash. But speaking of Buddy's been working. I've been stealing all the limelight today because I've been polishing. But Buddy came over and he's playing with I mean, this is really neat. He's got the fuel log put on, fuel line down to the fuel pump. We've got the fuel pressure line. He's got the bulkhead fittings going through the bulkhead. And he's got the oil pressure line on the bulkhead through the firewall. So he's ready for me to try to do something about this dash. So I didn't want you to think he wasn't working. He's working very hard. He's about to pull his hair out. We're looking through, you can see all these lines. I've told you this before, but he bought all these at the swap meet we had over the other day, and we're still needing stuff we don't have, but that's just the way it goes. But anyway, I think that's going to be getting close to wrapping it up for today, but we'll be right back with you. All righty, one last look here at the rear end pump. I've got to go buy 245s to be able to connect that filter in to the bulkhead fitting up here, and then that'll have this wrapped up. Like I was saying, we have gone through so many fittings here, and we're just finally out of all this used stuff I had. But man, that looks good. I'm really pleased. That's been all day long working on this, but it's going to look good when we get finished. Just get one little short line in there with 245s, and that'll be done. All right, Buddy was able to get this breather here. I'm pretty sure we were talking, we think that's probably for the transmission, because there's some holes in the back of this. I think that ran probably down to the transmission line, but we got the spacer installed. Of course, all of this is just dummied up right now so we can make the lines up. But, man, coming along, and I think tomorrow, if I can get that one line made, we'll go ahead and start on this dash. I kind of dread that, to be honest with you, but we're making progress. Well, that wraps up another very productive day here in the shop. This is actually the Friday after Thanksgiving, so we've got another full day tomorrow, kind of fool around with some stuff. But got a lot done today. It was a slow process, but remember how many times I said I'm going to video everything that it takes to build this car back, because it's important. I don't want to skip over anything. We're not a 30-minute TV show that you could kind of fast forward and, hey, they build a $200,000 street rod in 30 minutes. This is painstaking. So I tell you, I literally rubbed on that aluminum today for hours, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. My fingers are killing me. But got a lot done, got stuff mounted, and we're continuing to make progress. So appreciate you guys watching as always. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends. We're going to keep talking about that, but always hit the subscribe button, and if you haven't done so. But I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be out here tomorrow. We'll get another video. I'm not sure what we'll have going on, but we will be back at it. Have a fantastic day. God bless you. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. Take care.